How am I Swedish? Oh, because did I type something in Swedish? Yeah, no, we're not doing a best of 9. 9. No, please. Yeah, we're not doing this. Okay, it's going to be best of 5. Good luck to the Danes. Good luck to the Finns. Who do you guys have winning this one? Can we get some 1s in chat if you think that Denmark are going to come out on top? Some 2s if you think Finland are going to come out on top? Well, let's see it. And then I'll give you guys some information just in case you're not sure who these players are. Obviously, you should know who all these players are. Magnus and Metsa are one of the most successful 2v2 duos of all time, coming, I think, 2nd place at the Universal Open Season 1 and 3rd place, if I'm not mistaken, at Universal Open Season 2. Not sure what they're waiting for. There we go. Magnus and Fruity are going to team up. Or there we go. Roniki and Fruity will end up on the right team. Do we have a diagonal spawn? We do, don't we? Oh, for goodness sake. They've completely been dead. Oh, they've managed to fix it, though. Look at that. So we did have a momentary problem there with one team having a diagonal spawn. But they've managed to resolve that. Right into the game we go. So we've got 2 RLCS players for Denmark today. Roniki recently promoted to RLCS it was Red Reserve at the time, now Triple Trouble. And of course Fruity was picked up for PSG last season, if I'm not mistaken. It was last season, wasn't it? So he's been in RLCS for a full season.
3 months.
That makes them the only Danes in RLCS at the moment. So this is a pretty, I would say, like easy to select roster. Finland as well, pretty like obvious who to call when you want to get a 2v2 team on the go, because Metsa and Magnus, they were on a team together for a long time on Complexity before Complexity decided to bench Metsa, which went down as one of the worst transfer decisions in Rocket League history. From 3rd place RLCS to relegated with one smooth move. But they're still good friends, and they're still very good players together. We'll see how they get on against Roniki and Fruity, who are also, I think, going to be very dangerous. Wow, that's a great save by Fruity, actually. I was watching Fruity today in Jesse's stream. He was trying his best to carry Jesse in ranked 2v2. Jesse is just back from a skiing holiday, and his rank points went, I think, almost further downhill than he did on any of the ski slopes that he used for, I believe it was an entire week-long vacation. That's a good shot by Fruity. 1-0 Magnus, getting a little bit aggressive there, turning in an awkward position. It's been Finland with the majority of the pressure, but it hasn't really amounted to much so far. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Magnus is going to be playing RS this season alongside Greasy. Oh, Fruity, hold that thought. A very late flip reset. He's going to get his 2nd goal of the game. Look at that. It's not an easy one to land, especially to land and then use effectively. 2-0. Fruity with an outstanding solo goal. Really making his mark on this game. Making his presence felt. Looking for the hat trick. There was Fruity, but that's an easy save for Magnus. And I was going to say, I believe that Magnus is planning to play RS this season with Greasy. I would be surprised if they don't continue playing with Flakes after the good run that they had in DreamHack, finishing top. I think they were 1 series away from making it into the final day, and they had some impressive results such as beating Vitality along the way. It's going to be a hat trick for Fruity though. That's 3-0. And this game has completely turned around. Roniki messed up his initial center ball, but he's turned around and gone back at the same ball from a different direction. Caught the entire Finland team off guard. Strong start. I just want to point out, by the way, that this Twitch chat little poll that we did before this got started had Metsa and Magnus winning by a landslide, and I don't think that that's like surprising or even that bad a prediction. The fact that Roniki and Fruity are both currently RLCS and Magnus isn't, I don't think puts like a huge gap between them in terms of skill. And you've got the time and the experience that Metsa and Magnus have playing together, as well as the fact that they're probably used to more high pressure situations. Roniki is still relatively untested, and there will be 1 goal for the Finns. That was a nice setup here by Magnus. Let's take another look at it. Smooth recovery. The air roll needed to be on point if he was going to get that one center, which he did. Hey, thanks for the $50 bit, Smith.
Hi. By less than 3.
Alright, see you later, mate. If that is indeed you leaving. Passing play by Denmark. Fruity. He's finding the crossbar, though. He's going to try and hit Ronicky at the back post. He's overhit that one, though. Now Metsa with a chance to break. It's definitely a shot for Finland here to try and make this comeback possible. I would have loved to see Metsa and Norris have some boost in that position. See if he can read that bouncing down the back wall. Good demo by Metsa. Ronicky's going to stay on the aggressive, and this might be a misplay because they've already got the 2-goal lead, and now there's a huge gap between Ronicky and Fruity, giving a free shot to Magnus, and it's an own goal by Fruity. Maybe an even better goal that he scored in Finland's net. How has he managed this? What on earth? That's one of the best own goals we've ever seen. He did play too many games with Jesse today. It looks like starting to brush off on him a little bit. But Metsa Magnus on the comeback trail. They got over 90 seconds to make this one happen. Ronicky, air dribble. He's going to put it in over the top. Or is he? Yes, he is. No flip reset needed for Ronicky. He's just going to muscle it straight in. Metsa Norris could not get a good enough hitbox in the goal line. It's 2 goals again. First goal of the match now for Ronicky. Magnus and Metsa both have 1 each. Metsa again. Low boost in offense. Would love to attack that, but doesn't really have the option. It's more recovery demos from Finland. They're creating a lot of space. That might be a way that they can get back into this game. There's really no reason not to do that when you're recovering in 2v2. Why not drive straight into the ball carrier and take him out of the game? A lot of times it's safer to make that play than it is to make a play on the ball, because if you make a play on the ball, you might end up just dunking on your teammate's challenge or pinching the ball with an opponent, sending it flying. So Magnus just didn't have enough boost on the goal line there. 3 goals to the good. Looks like Denmark are going to re-establish a lead here, and more likely to hold on to it this time. These could be 2 of the best teams in the EU 2v2 scene, though. I mean, yesterday we were talking about teams that have a chance to beat France. You know, these are 2 options that both have a pretty good shot, I would say. They probably wouldn't go in as favourites. France have got so many really, really crazy good teams with Ferran Chassette from PSG. That's Fruity's teammates. And then you've got, of course, K-Dop and Fairy Peak, who have been long-term friends and teammates in ranked and small tournaments, but now they're actually on a team in Vitality. So they're just going to go from, I would say, strong to even stronger. Let's not even get started on Alpha 54, Cassio, the other French players in RLCS. There's enough French starting players in RLCS to make up 2 full teams. Pre-jump save by Magnus. Metsa Norris is looking for a consolation goal. You know, it was actually Fruity who was closer to scoring on that attack. Not for the first time this match. Passing play for Finland. That's not going to be an easy one to secure. This was a game that sort of blew wide open with Fruity's flip reset goal, and then when Finland had a small chance to make a comeback, Ronicky decided to get on the score sheet as well. It's 1-0 to Denmark in this best of 5. Monkey Moon, well, yeah, Monkey Moon as well, very good player, up-and-coming player for France. He doesn't have anywhere near as much as experience playing at the highest level competitively as the RLCS players, in particular Ferran Chassette, K-Dop and Fairy Peak. Those guys have been around for a long time now. Turbo Pulse in a lot. I don't know if a lot plays much 2v2. Every time I see a lot streaming 2v2, he's saying how bad a game mode it is. But this might have changed. Actually, somebody told me that a lot's actually got pretty good at 2v2. I think it was Greasy. So, yeah, that would definitely be a solid team. There's a few Swedish players who are other options as well. You've got Data, who was RLRS last season, I believe. Or was he? No, was he? I can't remember. I think he was. Yeah, Data was RLRS. Then Zensa's actually playing on a team with Monkey Moon, who we were just talking about. He's a player that used to be RLCS, and now looks like he's climbing back up to the top. Bump off the ball to get a shot open up for Metsa. That's 1-0 to Finland in the start of game 2. Nice play there by Magnus. There was no way for him to get in a position to take a shot himself, so he just clears the goalie out of the way. Yeah, OSM does have dual nationality. I don't know if OSM's been playing much twos recently, though. Yeah, there's definitely options for Sweden. Turbo Pulsar is like the obvious choice. I think is he right now the only Swedish player in RLCS? I think he is, now that a lot's been... Oh no, a lot's actually back in. A lot got relegated, but now he got back in by joining current RLCS team Mouse Wars. So there are two, in fact. Squishy and JNaps. Yeah, a lot of people were actually suggesting in that tweet that I put out asking for my followers on Twitter at JohnnyBoyNesGuy to let me know what their thoughts were. Oh, it's almost a good save by Metsa, but passing play here by Denmark was just too good. I love that pass by Fruity. Look at the positioning of Ronicky, though. That, in a nutshell, is what makes him such a good player. He's really good at finding that sweet spot to set up shots where he can pick his spot. Renfrewshire is a pretty good country. Oh, Magnus! Wow, he might have won up Fruity with this one. Check this out. Faking Ronicky out of the play, and how about that for a recovery? He's barely landed when he's taking the shot towards the top corner to give Finland their lead back. I don't think it even looked that good in the first watch through. It's only when you look at his perspective that you realise just how good of a recovery that was. To make a touch like that and retake control of the ball mid-air is not easy to do. I'm sure you've all tried to do that in your own games and often failed, where you try and bring the ball down. It's something you do a lot in real sports, where you try and control the ball. Hard to do in Rocket League when your car is airborne, setting up a dribble from an aerial position. Magnus does it fantastically there. I was going to mention it as well, just before that 6th shot came in, that, you know, for USA and Canada, I don't think I would include them in any Euro-style 2v2 tournament that I do for nations. Just because there's a lot of tournaments going on in USA and Canada already. They don't really need anything else as much as say, oh my goodness, look at this by Metsanors. What a read. I swear every time I'm trying to like just have a little tangent, talk about something other than what's happening on the screen, somebody scores an absolute clanger. That's outrageous. He's just got a double touch where he's hit the ceiling and the back wall on the way to the goal. And it's 4-1. Finland running away with game 2. Yeah, like I was saying, we get only boarding goals from now on, or at least a little extended period of play. Yeah, USA and Canada would absolutely be world-class 2v2 teams. Plenty of talent to choose from for both of those countries. But yeah, I was kind of wanting to do a Euro-style 2s tournament where I can get all of the European teams involved. And then I did mention Saudi Arabia because they always play on European servers, and there's not much going on in the Middle Eastern Rocket League scene in terms of tournaments, so I think it would be a decent time to throw them a bone, you know? Maybe there's other countries who prefer playing on European servers who could also get involved. Good save by Metsa. 6-1 here for Finland. They've just looked so good while doing it as well. The thing that impressed me most about Metsa and Magnus when they really started to rise to the very top tier of Rocket League, which was, you know, playing 2v2 with just the two of them and also playing 3s with a lot, who was their third at the time. You know, the speed that they were able to aggress the ball in attack and then also recover with was, I think, the key. Whenever they were making moves like this, they're always landing on their wheels and getting straight back into the play. And, you know, when you look at 2v2 these days, you see that all the time at the highest level. Almost every player is a lot better now at landing on their wheels on the back wall with a little bit of boost left over so that they can recover. It's a bit quicker. Metsanor is looking for another double touch. He's not happy with the just one, but it's looking like it's going to be Magnus. And I didn't know there was going to be a third country in this series today. It's turned out Finland have invited Brazil to this one. Iraqi players playing in EU servers. Yeah, there's a lot of Middle Eastern and I think as well African, at least North African players playing in Middle Eastern servers. Somebody even said that Indian players play in European servers. Did I say Middle Eastern? Meant European. What a crushing win here. My word. This is just brutal. Finland with the 8-1, and there's still 1 minute and 10 seconds left. What is going on? I can't believe this. After seeing how strong Denmark were defending in the last game, and now to go from that to this. Sonoris with a good save. Certainly looks like Magnus and Metsa have not lost any other synergy. They've been on the same page, start to finish here. Metsa looking to make it 9. Roniki's going to get in the way of that one. But yeah, these guys really did take 2v2 speed to another level. Back when 2v2 tournaments were being ran by Gfinity weekly, and you could see the meta developing.
Twitch thing, I didn't lose my streak less than 3.
Yes, everybody, yeah, if you've lost your sub streak on Twitch, you can get it back now just by... Oh my goodness, what a goal that would have been. What a goal this is. 10-1. Finland. They just can't miss. Look at that pre-jump block by Magnus. That's not a slow shot at all by Metsonoris. Unbelievable stuff. I honestly don't think I've seen a more one-sided 2v2 game at the highest level. Ever? Actually might not have. To take a team like Roniki and Free down 10-1, I don't think I could even exaggerate how impressive that is. What on earth did Magnus and Metsa eat for supper tonight? I want some. I want a piece. And they've done it in their good old fascist style, just playing at 1 billion miles an hour, pressuring for days, and recovering twice as fast just to make sure that there never is a gap in their rotation. I think we'll finish off with 10-2 if Fruity puts this one in, which he will. But, you know, despite all that, they only get 1 win on the board, so it's tied up here in the best of 5. Let's see if Magnus and Metsa can keep up this ridiculous form. Can Roniki and Fruity possibly bring this one back? I mean, if there's ever going to be a momentum, like 16 shots, what on earth did we just witness? Well, let's go ahead and watch game 3 and see what's happening. Yeah, I'll go ahead and ban him. Thanks for pointing that out, guys. Why do people do this on like Twitch Prime accounts? I'll never understand that. Like, yeah, let me just get my Twitch Prime account banned. You'd think they would go and, like, log in their Smurf for stuff like this. Alright, we got a little freestyle play by Roniki and Fruity. Managed to recover quite well, actually, despite the fact that they double committed there. Strong start here is absolutely crucial for Denmark in this game. And I want to see more from Roniki. He's had a couple of good offensive plays, but I think rotating too far back is sometimes leading to isolation. He's not able to back up Fruity when Fruity gets taken out of the game. It's happened again. Roniki a little bit too far away from the plate, and when Fruity does get dribbled, or in this case it's taken out, Roniki really can't close the distance easily. He's tried to get a block on that air dribble, and he wasn't even close. It's not been the best start here for Roniki. Remember that Roniki was also a part of that Universal Open 2v2 tournament this year. Metsa and Magnus did much better than he did, but Roniki didn't get to play with Casio, who he qualified with. He had to bring in, I think it was Tadpole last minute, who at least at the time didn't like 2v2 and didn't play much 2s, so they were not quite on the same level as the other teams that were there. But in qualifying, Roniki looked very impressive, so I've seen this guy do very good things in 2v2. Some good speed. He's taking Magnus out of the game. Now, can he set up Fruity? It's going to be Metsa, actually, with a huge block. Magnus is trying to sneak that one in. He didn't have much boost. In fact, he's got none. But he's still almost surprised the Danes there with the cheeky goal. They might not have been expecting. Magnus going to get this one up and over the defender. He's not so concerned about putting it on target or even center. He just wants to avoid getting dunked on. But it's been the experience of Metsa and Magnus that's really been winning them this series. You can tell that these guys have played an awful lot of 2v2 together in the past. And that's Roniki, or Fruity actually, just completely airballing. And another goal for Finland. Metsonoris this time. will get the goal credit. Magnus realised that there was a chance to run onto a goalie, and he did a low jump at the last second. A good threat there from Magnus, because even if he doesn't catch Ronicky jumping, there's a decent chance that he'll be able to clip him over on the top of his car anyway. Rewind, thanks for the raiding part. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hopefully your tournament went well. Chance for Fruity and Ronicky, but it's an interception by Magnus, shutting everything down. It was the same pass that set up a goal for Ronicky earlier in the series. It was game 1, of course. But my goodness, Magnus just walks in and takes a goal. It's like just taking sweets from a baby right now. Just steps up and just taps the ball into the net. Couldn't be much more confident if he tried. You know, with how tame Ronicky and Fruity have become over the last 7 or 8 minutes, it's not that surprising. Magnus easily matching Ronicky for speed. Metza matches Fruity. So what is the answer for Denmark? I would say if Finland are dominating this game with speed as much as they are, it's time for slow plays from the Danes. They have to try and control this game. So right now they're playing at Finland's pace, and it's not working at all. It's not a guaranteed solution by any means, because this is going to be a tough comeback. That's almost 4 goals. Ronicky has tried to go in and out for this, but Messinoris is going to put it over his head. It's 4-0. It's good attempt here by Ronicky. The only way that he could really challenge that is by coming off his own crossbar, but he was too early. Who would be playing for England? I mean, the obvious team for England is Bluey and Devo. They had a really good result recently at DreamHack, finishing top 4. And they are on the same team, so natural synergy. My goodness. Suddenly I'm starting to think that that Finland might be the team to beat after seeing this. I'd love to see them playing against a Fairy and a K-Dop, though. That would be a sight to behold. You know, on another day, I think Denmark could give them a much better run for their money. For goodness sake, they might still. It looks so hard. It's so hard to see it happening after Finland have put 14 goals past them in the last 2 games. And this time held Denmark to 0 in the process. Fruity looking for Magnus off the ball. That's given Ronicky a little bit of free time, but he's not able to use it effectively, at least. It's a good block by Magnus. Didn't get as clean a landing this time, but he's still quick to get out and back involved in the play. Who would play for the Netherlands? Oh, obviously Jesse is the best player in the Netherlands, so just Jesse and whoever Jesse decides he wants to carry on any given day to a victory. It seems like a no-brainer, to be honest. 15 seconds left. This clean sheet is looking very good for Finland. Recoveries have been out of this world fast for the M's in this lobby. And the aggression, the composure, the shot selection has also been there. Messinoris, I've not seen him play this clean for a while. Just every single landing making so much sense, and Ronicky will get a goal, but it's in his own net. It's 2-1. Finland, in the last 2 games, have got an aggregate score of 15-2. That is one-sided. Denmark were not able to turn this one around in this 3rd game, not even in the slightest. Let's see if they can do any better in game 4. It's all about controlling the ball this game for the Danes. They need to stop playing this long, fast game with Finland, who are so comfortable doing that. Just back and forth, nipping in and out of attack. I'll be doing all the sub shoutouts after this one's over, by the way, because we're a bit behind them right now. But if you do have to go before that, then I do appreciate your support. If this series continues the way it's currently going, we'll only be seeing another 1 game. Denmark are really struggling to find their footing in this one. It was such a promising first match as well. Very, very strong game 1 from them. Fruity with the first real chance of the match. It's a tight angle double touch, and Magnus Had full knowledge that it wasn't going to be a boomer coming at him, so he's just going to sit on the goal line and wait for it. Metza trying to stay in that sweet spot right behind Magnus, but not too close that the ball's going to go over both of them with ease. Magnus can't get it past Fruity. He's managed to keep it under control like we were talking about earlier. This is better from Denmark. That, however, is not. Fruity with the giveaway. It's bumped onto Metza to keep the ball alive for just a little bit longer, but now comes Magnus down the line, and it's more a little bit careless defending by Denmark. I'm not impressed by the consistency that these guys are putting out in the past few games. Fruity just going to barrel straight in there, and that's a shot wide open for Magnus. He places it well, and it's just not the right time to be challenging for Ronicky. Actually it was, sorry, I miscalled that. It was Ronicky about running in. You can tell that the synergy's just not quite there on the same level, at least not today.
Not been here in
We've
5
seen
months.
quite a few times Ronicky and Fruity have gone in for a challenge by themselves when there's no backup by their teammate. There's no way that their teammate's going to be able to come forward in support of that challenge, regardless of how well it goes. And you look at how Finland are challenging the ball. You've always got one moving forward and another backing him up. So right here, Magnus is staying close enough that if the ball does go past Metza, he can come in and take it for free. And if Metza does get the challenge to work in his favor, he can maybe move up on it aggressively. But the key is actually following up on failed challenges. You need to be close enough that you can take the ball for free. It's been a clinic on that by Finland right now. Saved by Magnus. Very composed stuff defensively for Finland. They're just trying to close this one out now. Not the explosive style that we were seeing in game 2, but they don't need that now. They've already shown everybody that 10-2 game. Now they just want to close it out as consistently as possible. So pay attention here to Metza. He's going to turn early and stick in the challenge before the play can come in for Ronicky. And that's the key. He didn't back off all the way like I was criticizing someone of doing earlier on this series.
As long as you are never sponsored by
Magnus double touch
Master,
attempt.
I
And he will put it in. Placed it bottom corner, but with the speed and the accuracy that he's gone for here, it just doesn't matter. Look at that by Magnus. He's really proven, if nothing else, that he's certainly still on this level. A lot of people will be doubting him, of course, after seeing him getting relegated last season to RLRS. But there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this guy can still play. He is a monster when he's playing well. Oh my goodness! I rest my case. What on earth was this? How do you read that? How on earth do you read this? Far less boom the angle. Yep, Magnus is still pretty good at Rocket League. 3-0. I make that. I think it's now 8 goals in a row for Finland. They've yet to concede in the last 2 games. It's almost 9 minutes of gameplay have gone by since Fruity scored a consolation goal. Metz is going to keep the clean sheet alive. Fruity with the option of double touch. He tries to make it happen, but he's shot the ball too low. Ronicky follows up, and he's hit the bar. It's still no goal for Denmark. Oh my goodness, Fruity clanks the post. It's just not meant to be. Denmark with every single option, and now it's just Ronicky flopping past the ball. This has got to be pretty tilting now for Denmark. They've run into 2 players who are playing some of the best Rocket League I've ever seen them play. So it's a pretty bad day to be playing against Metz and Magnus, and they've not been able to bring their A game in response. It must be pretty frustrating. Metz are running interference there on the player off the ball. You of course know what you're about to see. It's another double touch attempt. Magnus trying to use the wheels of the car to take a bit of power off that ball, but he wasn't able to get it low enough. Need to get a bit more over the ball to do that. Will we at least see one consolation goal for Denmark? It doesn't look like it, as Metz and Magnus like a well-oiled machine, or a pair of them. Very clean recovery there by Magnus. He gets bumped into the air, but decides to wave dash the landing just to get back into the play. that little bit faster. And Metza is going to dismantle the defense once again. It all started with a backboard read over his own net. GG's. What an outrageous win for Metza and Magnus. You know, I've seen them play some good twos in the past, but this might be the best series I've seen them play. This was crazy good. Both completely popping off in offense and defending almost perfectly. I don't think I saw any disjointed defensive plays in at least the last 2 games. Maybe a few in the second game because they were just playing a little bit loose, winning 10-2. But in that third and fourth game, I did not see too many mistakes with their decision making of when to challenge. Very impressive stuff. That is one-sided. Denmark were not able to turn this one around in this third game, not even in the slightest. Let's see if they can do any better in game 4. It's all about controlling the ball this game for the Danes. They need to stop playing this long, fast game with Finland, who are so comfortable doing that. Just back and forth, nipping in and out of attack. I'll be doing all the sub shoutouts after this one's over, by the way, because we're a bit behind them right now. But if you do have to go before that, then I do appreciate your support. If this series continues the way it's currently going, we'll only be seeing another one game. Denmark are really struggling to find their footing in this one. It was such a promising first match as well. Very, very strong game 1 from them. Fruity with the first real chance of the match. It's a tight angle double touch, and Magnus had full knowledge that it wasn't going to be a boomer coming at him, so he's just going to sit on the goal line and wait for it. Metza trying to stay in that sweet spot right behind Magnus, but not too close that the ball's going to go over both of them with ease. Magnus can't get it past Fruity. He's managed to keep it under control like we were talking about earlier. This is better from Denmark. That, however, is not. Fruity with the giveaway. It's bumped onto Metza to keep the ball alive for just a little bit longer, but now comes Magnus down the line. And it's more a little bit careless defending by Denmark. I'm not impressed by the consistency that these guys are putting out in the past few games. Fruity just going to barrel straight in there, and that's a shot wide open for Magnus. He places it well, and it's just not the right time to be challenging for Ronicky. Actually, it was. Sorry, I miscalled that. It was Ronicky running in. You can tell that the synergy's just not quite there on the same level, at least not today.
Not been here in
We've
5
seen
months.
quite a few times Ronicky and Fruity have gone in for a challenge by themselves when there's no backup by their teammate. There's no way that their teammate's going to be able to come forward in support of that challenge, regardless of how well it goes. And you look at how Finland are challenging the ball. You've always got one moving forward and another backing him up. So right here, Magnus is staying close enough that if the ball does go past Metza, he can come in and take it for free. And if Metza does get the challenge to work in his favor, he can maybe move up on it aggressively. But the key is actually following up on failed challenges. You need to be close enough that you can take the ball for free. It's been a clinic on that by Finland right now. Saved by Magnus. Very composed stuff defensively for Finland. They're just trying to close this one out now. Not the explosive style that we were seeing in game 2, but they don't need that now. They've already shown everybody that 10-2 game. Now they just want to close it out as consistently as possible. So pay attention here to Metza. He's going to turn early and stick in the challenge before the play can come in for Ronicky. And that's the key. He didn't back off all the way like I was criticizing someone of doing earlier on this series.
As long as you are never sponsored by
Magnus double touch
Coinmaster,
attempt. And he will put it in. Placed it bottom corner, but with the speed and the accuracy that he's gone for here, it just doesn't matter. Look at that by Magnus. He's really proven, if nothing else, that he's certainly still on this level. A lot of people will be doubting him, of course, after seeing him getting relegated last season to RLRS. But there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this guy can still play. He is a monster when he's playing well. Oh my goodness! I rest my case. What on earth was this? How do you read that? How on earth do you read this? Far less boom the angle. Yep, Magnus is still pretty good at Rocket League. 3-0. And make that, I think it's now 8 goals in a row for Finland. They've yet to concede in the last 2 games. It's almost 9 minutes of gameplay have gone by since Fruity scored a consolation goal. And Metz is going to keep the clean sheet alive. Fruity with the option of double touch. He tries to make it happen, but he's shot the ball too low. Ronicky follows up, and he's hit the bar. It's still no goal for Denmark. Oh my goodness, Fruity clanks the post. It's just not meant to be. Denmark with every single option, and now it's just Ronicky flopping past the ball. This has got to be pretty tilting now for Denmark. They've ran into 2 players who are playing some of the best Rocket League I've ever seen them play. So it's a pretty bad day to be playing against Metz and Magnus, and they've not been able to bring their A game in response. Must be pretty frustrating. Metz are running interference there on the player off the ball. You of course know what you're about to see. It's another double touch attempt. Magnus trying to use the wheels of the car to take a bit of power off that ball, but he wasn't able to get it low enough. Need to get a bit more over the ball to do that. Will we at least see one consolation goal for Denmark? It doesn't look like it, as Metz and Magnus like a well-oiled machine, or a pair of them. Very clean recovery there by Magnus. He gets bumped into the air, but decides to wave dash the landing just to get back into the play that little bit faster. And Metza is going to dismantle the defense once again. It all started with a backboard read over his own net. GG's. What an outrageous win for Metza and Magnus. You know, I've seen them play some good 2s in the past, but this might be the best series I've seen them play. This was crazy good. Both completely popping off in offense and defending almost perfectly. I don't think I saw any disjointed defensive plays